Y'all ready? Y'all feeling all right?
What's that sound?
It's a hip-hop Cloverleaf podcast.
Hip-hop Cloverleaf.
What up? Let's go!
Cloverleaf podcast.
Thank you for tonight. Yes.
You are now listening to the Hip-hop Cloverleaf podcast.
What up, what up, what up? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good nights, and welcome back to the Hip Hop Cloverleaf Podcast. We are your hosts, it's your boy O.
And it's your boy EC.
And in today's episode, we have This Day in Hip Hop. Then we got Ones and Twos, the Khaled set. And to finish out the episode, we got What's on Rotation. Keep it locked, y'all. This is Hip Hop Cloverleaf. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up?
It's good.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up?
It's good, everybody.
What up? Good morning, everybody. Good evening, everybody.
morning.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Good night, everybody.
Good
What's up?
night.
Welcome
Good
back to
night.
the Hip Hop Cloverleaf Podcast. 4 leaves, 4 elements. Y'all know the drill. What's good, EC?
What's up, man? I feel like it's been a while.
It
couple
feels
weeks.
like, it's a little
So everybody
different.
don't know, we've pre-recorded a couple episodes already just because, you know, it's a little easier on us.
Time purposes,
yeah,
too.
time purposes.
Like, we got...
So we haven't gotten together to record in about 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah, it's been a little bit. It's been some
2
time,
weeks,
but
yeah.
it's good to be back. It's good, like, you know, just saying good morning, good evening, just saying all that. It feels good coming back. Kind of like you went on a vacation or something. You come back.
Yeah, man.
It's cool. But all right, man, let's get it. This day in hip hop, we have what is this day in hip hop?
What is this day in hip-hop?
This day in hip hop is Dark and Hot as Hell by DMX debuted on This Day in Hip Hop. That's what happened on This Day in Hip Hop. So what are some of your memories with the song? Or do you recall this album at all?
Yeah, for sure. I think this was the first time I heard DMX. Obviously when this came out, I was a little baby, so I wasn't. I didn't listen to this.
You're a little baby?
No, but I do remember, you know, when I first got into hip hop, this was definitely on my radar. What stands out to me from this album, I really love the intro to this where he's like, "That's my man's," and it starts with the skit.
Yeah,
"That's my man," and I just remember that part from the intro. And what I really like about this album, you know, I'm a big fan of skits if they make sense in the album, and there's some funny skits on here, some funny skits, some dope skits. It ties in the whole thing together. I want to get into, what are some of your favorite tracks on this?
For My Dogs, that's probably one of my favorites. Like you said, like I'm a huge fan of skits.
Yeah.
I can't even remember like some of like Snoop Dogg skits are kind of those are kind of my favorite, and I feel like they make the album, or they make the records like funny, right? Like there's the song portion that like you listen to, but then also, like you said, it's the skits that like ties everything together. Like I think Tory Lanez even does it a lot. Like you know, it just kind of like creates like this storyline, so that it really brings everything all together, and I think it makes it more of like a story than anything. And I think like the artists who know how to do that really well. Kendrick is another really good example, like on Damn or like Good Kid, Mad City. Those are the things that I look for in albums. So when I look for like that, the skits are always kind of interesting to me.
Speaking of Kendrick, it's funny you brought him up because, you know, being that he is my favorite rapper, he actually has come out and said, I remember this was a while ago when he was coming up, that he started rapping because of this album. Yeah, there's a line on Good Kid. I can't remember it, but he mentions this album. It's Dark and Hell is Hot. And so, yeah, being that, you know, he's been my favorite rapper, so I definitely, when I heard it, I was like, oh, I'm definitely checking this album out.
Yeah.
So I went back to this, and I definitely took this in. It's fucking dope, man. One of my favorite tracks on here is the song Damien. It's one of my top songs, like storytelling tracks ever. That track is crazy. The things talk about is deep. The concept of dealing with like the devil on your shoulder, telling you what to do, and all that. It's a crazy story. So it was a good insight into like DMX's life. And if you look at his future albums after this, you know, he always has tracks like those where he's dealing with his demons and stuff like that. One of my other favorite tracks is "Look Through My Eyes." That one was a crazy track as well. I got 4 more that are my favorites. "How's It Going Down?" That's classic. You know,
Yeah.
I think that was a single off that. "Get At Me Dog" is dope. "Get At Me Dog." Yeah, it's dope. "Let Me Fly" is another one, and then "X Is Coming" is crazy as well. And it just reminds me, I think all of these he performed at the verses he had against Snoop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a legendary battle. Yeah,
Man, it's like it's crazy to think, and it sucks to think about, like when you have projects like this, and then you think about the artist now being deceased. It's like, damn, I really wish I would have listened a little bit more, and that's honestly the case for me. Like, I like DMX, and it's not that I ever never liked him, but I didn't listen to him as much. And now, knowing that he's passed away, I'm like, damn. And then you talking about the songs, and how they make you feel and stuff, I'm like, damn, like I need to get more into this and just check it out and just see it. So
yeah,
I like that. Good shit.
Definitely check this out. Rest in peace, DMX.
Rest in peace, DMX.
All right, man, let's get into this. Ones and twos. This is a brand new segment.
Brand new segment. So we're focusing. Yes, the ones and twos, the Khaled set. So we want to focus more on the DJing side. So DJ Khaled actually just came out with the album called Khaled, and
another one.
Exactly.
You're amazing.
We appreciate you. Dude. DJ Khaled, man. Khaled gets a lot of hate. And he does. And that's the crazy thing is he's not just a DJ. He's a producer.
Yeah,
he's an executive.
That's the reason we wanted to highlight Khaled because of that. A lot of people don't really know what he does and the kind of value he puts into the game, into hip hop. So we kind of want to highlight it.
Yeah. I was doing a little bit more research, not on him like now, but his early days. And I think if you look at him, when he just started out, you can see that charisma in him, and you can tell that he was going to be something big. I was saying he was an executive. He is an executive. He's a CEO, an artist. He's the one that facilitates everything and makes everything come together. He represents like the unity and the collaboration between artists and producers, and he gives them all the equal opportunity to shine and rock the mic. He has that ear, man. I don't even know how to explain it. Like it's if you give somebody the same tools that DJ Khaled had, right? If you get the vocals for a Drake, a Nipsey, a freaking Jeremiah, like if Drake
vocals coming in.
Exactly. Like if you have and give somebody all that, it's not going to be the same as what Khaled gives you. And that's because he's been in the industry. He knows how to do it. He knows how to mix it. He knows how to master it. But that's the thing is like he knows how to do it. So he's taken those steps to understand how to do it. But now he's big enough to have a team to be able to distribute all that or like to be able to handle all that while he's facilitating other things. I saw this video of him back when I'm on One, with Drake, and Wayne, before that song even came out. He was like video having like a video conversation with Drake on the computer. Yeah. And you know how he says, "Get 'em on, I'm on one." Yeah. Like Khaled was teaching Drake how to sing that part because he's like, this is what I'm thinking. This is I want it to be like this, And man, just seeing him like in coach mode and being able to see it not firsthand, but through a video, like, oh shoot, it's crazy.
Wait, you were there?
I wish. I wish I was there. What's it called? Where was I at? Khaled brings like the best of the best, and he didn't get there by accidents. Like he gets together, like you said, the Drake vocals, the Hoves, the Coles. He's able to put all that, and even while he's screaming, "We the best!" like he's saying that for a reason because he has the best of the best in not necessarily in the studio, but he's getting the best vocals from the best people and putting all together and making the best sound. That's why he says another one. Time and time again.
But dude, that's genius because he created those phrases and everybody knows them. Like,
everybody
even
knows
though it's
them.
Annoying, that was kind of the point. Like everybody knows it now.
Yeah,
whenever anybody says that, it's Khaled. They know it's Khaled. So he's a genius for that, man, for sure.
And I would also say he's a marketing genius on top of that because
he definitely is.
It's okay. So like
he's like the rollout king, man.
Right, and he's a bigger dude. knowing that, and like, you know, memes are a thing, so he knows that it's gonna be funny. Like the one I'm thinking of right now, he's like in the middle of the river. And he's got like a mimosa in hand, and he just stands up, and then like that shit's
And
funny.
all the captions to
Dude,
it are just hilarious.
oh my gosh. When I think of Khaled, I think of him like a general manager. He has like that overall vision of what and where like the tracks are gonna be and where they're gonna go. He was like, I think there was another interview I was watching, and he was like talking with I forget what the radio station or what it was, but he was saying like, I can do all these things. I can get the vocals, I can mix it, and I can put it out. Not everybody can do that, and that's true. And that's true. Not everybody can do that. And then not only that, but nobody else has the connections and the relationships and the friendships that Khaled has with these big artists. Khaled has put in the time, put in the work, you know, building the networking that he's networked enough so he knows pretty much everybody in the business. Yeah,
everybody fucks with Khaled.
Yeah,
man.
like if Khaled asks you to be on a track, or he's like, hey, yo, shoot me some vocals, you know, shoot me a verse. You're not gonna say no. You know what I mean? Or even if you did, you know, then you might be missing out on a bag because you're not participating in that.
Dude, think of this. He brings everybody together no matter what. Like, even people that have beef, they've got on the same maybe not the same record, but the same album of Khaled. The same, you know, they're in the sessions, and it's crazy, man. That's the power that Khaled has. He fucks with everybody. Everybody fucks with Khaled.
There's a lot of behind the scenes work that we don't get to see. We just get the final product. We just get the albums, you know, and the approvals and the disapprovals, like all that, the stuff. Like, we don't see that. I would really want to see what doesn't come out. You know what I mean? Like everything he puts out is pretty. I listened to Khaled, and I was pretty happy with it. I liked it better than what's it called? What was the last thing he put out? Father of Sade. I don't really like Father of Sade too much. But the ones I really like from Khaled are Major Key. That one always sticks out.
Yeah, that was my favorite Khaled record.
And then this one Khaled so far, I really like that one. He just knows how to entertain.
I haven't listened to this one yet, but
it's pretty good, man. It's pretty. I think you'll come into it thinking it's a Khaled album. You'll hear it sounds like a Khaled album. But there's a couple songs at the end that I think I thought made it a little different.
Okay.
He samples Heart of the City. Lil Wayne's on that, Jeremiah's in that. I think that's like the first or second song on that. It's good, man. I like it. I was kind of surprised. I think Meg Stallion comes in. She has a little verse. Cardi had a song. Not Playboy Cardi B. It was okay, you know, it was alright. But
I saw an interview where she said that was kind of like a last minute thing that Khaled asked her to get on the record, and it was crazy.
Why not?
I haven't listened to it, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
And another thing about Khaled is right? We said that he's a marketing genius, but he's always promoting that positive mindset too. That positive. I remember like even on like I think it was like some random commercial. I don't even know, but like Khaled was like a motivational toothbrush or like someone you know brushing your teeth. It's like little circles. You're the best and shit like that. But it's cool because you know people laugh at that and they want to be able to see him. They want. You know, like just the phrases and stuff. He's always promoting, like he's never promoting negativity. If you feel me on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Khaled started as an underground radio host in Miami that was called WEDR, aka Wetter. Wetter 99 Jams. Yeah, you know what that reminds me of? What's it called? Martin WZUP. What's up? But 99 Jams is what the radio station was called. And Khaled would say things, even back then, he would say, there's a DJ, and then there's DJ Khaled. There's radio stations, and then there's 99 Jams. Like, you know, he'd always, like, just hype it up like that. And he was always so charismatic. And then what he brings and what he does, it's just infectious, man. I think no matter where he goes, he brings that positivity, and he wants to motivate you to be the best, if you will. And he's been doing that from the start. He started out you know, doing the radio host for 99 Jams, but eventually he became the DJ for the Terror Squad early in his career. And he claimed that Terror Squad was actually like a family to him.
Shout out Terror Squad.
Shout out Terror Squad.
Terror Squad. All right, man. So I kind of want to go into a little timeline. So let's go through a timeline of DJ Khaled from the beginning, like from his first album all the way to his latest one.
He's changed so much.
Yeah, and it kind of that's what we want to do. Want to highlight the changes that have happened. Kind of mention some of the tracks, you know, just to see if people remember them. And let's go through it. So let's start with the first one. Let's start at, you mentioned Terror Squad.
Mm-hmm.
To the people that don't know, the younger people, Terror Squad, they were a hip hop collective from the Bronx. Most of them are still alive right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it started with Fat Joe, Big Pun, Cuban Link, Prospect, Armageddon, and Triple Sace. They were like the original Terror Squad members. And have you listened to any Terror Squad?
I remember listening to Fat Joe. A lot. Like he was popping, I want to say in the early 2000s.
He was big popping.
He had the Lean Back record. He had the song with Ashanti, What's Love.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked Fat Joe. Like I never hated on him, but I don't know. Like it was always, I think it's because it's the New York sound that it's a little, it's a little different from over here in the West Coast, but I still liked it. What was it like? Missy Elliott did a couple songs with Terror Squad. It was cool. There's the sound they bring is really dope.
My favorite off of Terror Squad is Big Pun. He was dope. Mm-hmm. He was really dope. I think he was like the best rapper out of everybody. But that's just my personal opinion. So let's start with. So that was Terror Squad. So let's start with DJ Khaled. He was introduced to Terror Squad pretty much on his first album. His first album was called Listen ... the album. So. Listen.
The album. I just hear him saying that. As soon as I read that, I was like, oh, that's definitely Khaled.
Oh, definitely. So that was released in 2006 by Terror Squad Entertainment. So that was the early first debut album by DJ Khaled. And at the time, Khaled was working with Jeezy, Birdman, Bun B, Chamillionaire. You remember Chamillionaire?
Yeah, they seen me
Styles P, Crazy Bone, Lil Scrappy. The album peaked at number 12 on the Billboard 200, and it sold 44,000 copies.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And at the time, that was a lot. That was a whole lot. Let's go
just
through.
looking at the names, like those names are not. That's not like radio hits. Like to me, those are artists, and like Bun B, Styles P, like those guys weren't looking to make money off the radio. You know what I mean? They really wanted to put out good quality music. That's just kind of what I see just off the bat.
But at the time, these. They were all popping at the time. Yes, which was crazy.
It was in, 2006, right?
Yeah, 2006. Yeah. The singles for this album, well, let's kind of go through singles. Shout out my brother. He kind of mentioned to us, maybe you should explain what singles are or what they mean to an album. People might not know. So let's go through it. So single serves two purposes pretty much. It builds up the anticipation for a forthcoming album, and then it can also draw new listeners to the music. And with that being said, the three singles off this were called Born and Raised, and that one featured Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, Paul Wall, Fat Joe, and Pitbull.
Dale.
Pitbull was popping at this time too. He was coming up. The other single was Grammy Family, and that one featured Kanye and Elton John and Consequence. And
crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he's just getting those names and mixing them together into sounding something like the way it's wow.
Yeah. And then the last single was Holla at Me. And that one was Trick Daddy featuring Pitbull once again. The second album was called We the Best. Of course, that's where
We the Best.
Yeah, that one came out the next year, released in June 12, 2007. And it was still through Terror Squad Entertainment. Khaled and Fat Joe were the executive producers of this album. So we're talking about Khaled being having an ear, but Fat Joe is that as well. Even to today, he has an ear. And you know what? Fat Joe is like the second Khaled, because these days he's the one that brings people together. Yeah. I think he squashed the beef. He squashed a few beefs before. But singles off of this album was We Taking Over. That one was a huge smash. I still hear it today. That one featuring T.I., Rick Ross, Fat Joe, Birdman, Lil Wayne, Akon.
Can't forget Akon.
Yeah, Akon. He was a big dude back then too.
Dude, Akon, I think, is trying to build a city.
Oh yeah, I saw that. He funded.
Insane.
Yeah, and
that's crazy.
Remember he like, I forgot how many millions he gave to an African city that gave him pretty much light.
Yeah. Like he gave him electricity, right? Yeah. That's insane.
Shout out Akon, man. I don't know why a lot of rappers don't do this, man.
They need to give back.
The other smash from this album was I'm So Hood.
I'm so hood. Hood.
T-Pain, Trick
Oh
Daddy,
my
Plies, and
goodness.
Rick Ross.
You know what? I remember when that came out, I had an MP3 player, and this MP3 player, I would download music on it, but it was also, I had a feature for radio. So anytime I got kind of tired of the music that I had, I would listen to the radio, and one of the songs that would always come on was "I'm So Hood."
That was all over.
Yeah,
the radio.
freaking T-Pain went in, and then like after I wanted to hear like the explicit version, I would turn that off and then go back to the one I had, and it was pretty good.
It's dope. Cool. It's dope. The other features on this whole album, I already mentioned Ross, Akon, T.I., Lil Wayne, had Fat Joe, of course. We still had Jeezy, he was still popping. Trick Daddy, T-Pain. The Game was on this, and Jadakiss.
Damn.
Yeah. This is crazy.
All-Star. It's kind of like, you know what I think about when Khaled puts out an album? Kind of like All-Star Weekend, but for artists. That's kind of what I think of.
That's a good way. Because, all he does, he grabs the superstars, the all-stars, and the up-and-coming all-stars, for sure. The next album was We Global. Hey, say it like Khaled.
We Global.
There you go. We Global. Released September 16, 2008. It was a crossover type of album with many more global soundscapes. So on this one, he went a little different route. I think he had some other sounds that were like popping in different countries, which is pretty cool.
He's trying to go international. Yeah. They don't want to see you go international.
They don't. The singles off of this was Out Here Grinding. That one was a dope. I like that song. I remember that one. That one was Akon, of course. And I like a lot of Akon records, man. He was like the hook king back then. Rick Ross was on this, Lil Boosie, Trick Daddy, Ace Hood, and Plies. I just saw Lil Boosie. I just seen he's been popping lately because people try to mistake Flavor Flav for Lil Boosie.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that, dude.
That's funny. The other single was Go Hard, and that was Kanye featuring T-Pain. And that one, what I remember from that track was hard too. Man, this was early Kanye, so he was popping too. Other features on this whole album, The Game was all over this. T-Pain, Bun B, Rick Ross, of course, Ace Hood, Plies, Akon, Trick Daddy, the same ones from previous albums.
Ooh.
Another artist called Big Country King, which I don't really remember.
I don't remember him either.
Lil Boosie was all over this. Nas was on here. Kanye. Fab was on this. Fat Joe, of course. Sean Paul, he was popping back then. Busta was there. Pitbull, of course. Cassidy and Fib Rida, and among others. So
wait, there's gonna be Flow Rider?
That's what did I say? Fib Rida?
Fib Rider. I don't know.
Flow Rider, my bad. Florida. The next all right, so up to this point, it's 2008. He's released from 2006, 2007, 2008, every single year. His next album, he didn't release the following year. He waited 2 years. And that one was called Victory. Say it like Khaled.
Victory.
There you go. Released March 2nd, 2010.
We winning.
And this was the first time Drake appears on the Khaled album.
Hey.
And this was young Drake. I remember 2010.
Yep.
I love 2010 in hip hop just because that was the first time I heard of my favorites now. It's Kendrick, Drake, and Cole.
It was like the tides were starting to turn. Like it's no longer the 2000s era. It became the 10s.
The 10s.
And I really like the 10s. When I think of the 10s, I think of Drake, Kendrick, Cole. But I also think of like ASAP. Like those kind of guys, are Wale. Those guys who kind of like change the sound. Yeah. And I felt like instead of like the 2000s to me was kind of like more of like the radio hits. To me, like like I think of the What's Love. That's to me, that's what I think of when I think of the 2000s. When I think of like 2010, I think of like Best I Ever Had. I think of you know what I mean. Like it's a little more rapping, not like too much more, but I just think I don't know. I thought it was a good turn. Like it's no longer like the big. What's it called? Like saggy shorts. It's none of that. You know what I mean? Like it's starting to change. Yeah. And I personally, I really like this era. I like it a lot.
Talking about that, do you think I've heard this a lot? Do you think baggy clothes is gonna come back?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You think so?
Everything always like recycles.
It's a cycle?
If you look, it just kind of comes back. It'll be old. And then it will be kind of like, what are you doing? Oh shit, it's popping again. Like it's always gonna come back.
Can't wait to bust out my old Kobe jersey, the big ass one,
the like triple XL.
Yeah, the triple XL. Hell yeah, can't wait. Singles off of Victory was Fed Up. That one was Usher, Jeezy, Rick Ross, and Drake.
I didn't really remember it too much until we started going back.
Yeah.
When we started doing this episode, I started listening to a lot more Khaled, and I was like, "What? I don't really remember that." But Usher killed it. Usher killed the hook on that. Put Your Hands Up. I remember that song.
Yeah,
that was a good song.
That one was Gigi, Ross, Plies, and an artist called Shife. And then he had another smash single on here. It was called All I Do Is Win.
All I do is win,
we all know
no
that
matter
one.
what, bro. And this song's still, I think it's gonna be like an anthem forever. Like as long as anybody can win, this song is gonna be up there. You know what I mean? Like,
and then it goes up.
And then they say that.
That pause is at
yeah.
Other features on this album, well, pretty much the same as his previous one. Swiss Beatz was on here, Gunplay was on here, and Jim Jones was on here.
Jones.
Yeah, and then the other ones I mentioned from earlier. His next album was the following year. It's called We the Best Forever.
We the Best Forever.
That was released July 19th, 2011. Still under Terror Squad, but also this year he had signed to Young Money, Cash Money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Khaled signed to them, and this was his first album under them as well. This was his first album to be released on a major label, and which was Cash Money. All his previous ones were under Coach Records, which is an independent label.
Mm-hmm.
And he had just signed with Cash Money, so of course he had Drake all over this. And on this album, Khaled really wanted to get Eminem on one of his street records.
Shit. Yeah, I didn't know that.
But he wasn't able to do it for whatever reason. And it's crazy because I seen recent interviews where he's still trying to get M. He says, I want to get M. They ask him, what's the artist that he's worked with hella artists. Or what's one that you've always wanted to work with that you still haven't? And he mentions Eminem, which I have no idea why they haven't made one, dude. It's been so many years.
I feel like M is probably not hesitant, but I don't know if he wants to put his work. I don't know if he wants to let somebody else, you know what I mean? Like
handle
yeah, pretty much. Like I don't think he doesn't want to give Khaled the vocals, you know what I mean? Like because he doesn't know what it's gonna sound like. What if he gives him a hard ass verse, but then he comes in with the weak beat or something like that. And I don't think Khaled would come in with a weak beat for Eminem, but I think Eminem doesn't have that trust for Khaled because they've never worked. That's just an idea that comes to my head.
Yeah, that makes sense. Damn, thinking back, I wish that's one flaw I have from him is like I feel like he should let other people handle his stuff. Just open up. There's some dope ass producers out there, man. But some singles off of that album was Welcome to My Hood. That was Rick Ross, Plies, Lil Wayne, and T-Pain. Same formula. And then this is where we had a big Drake record on the Khaled, which was I'm On One. That was one of my one of my favorite songs from this year, which is pretty dope. It was Drake, Ross, and Wayne. Yeah, classic hit. Let's be real, that was pretty much Drake's song. When I think of that one, I always thought it was a Drake song.
Yeah, I think on my iPod, I think it was under as Drake. I didn't have it as DJ Khaled. Drake was the artist who got the credit for this.
Another single from this is It Ain't Over Till It's Over, and that was Mary J. Blige, Fab, and Jada, which is pretty dope. And then the last single is Legendary, Chris Brown, Keisha Cole, and Neo.
Keisha Cole, and I think Keisha Cole had that song, what is it called? She sampled Biggie. What is it called? I can't think of it. I play it, not all the time, but it's on rotation every now and then. Let It Go. That's what it's called. It's called Let It Go with the.
Yeah.
Yes, that's when I think Keisha Cole, I think of that song, and then like around that time is when she dropped that. So I'm pretty sure Kyle was like, I need her. I need Keisha Cole.
Yeah, and this album was the first time where we started to see those new school rappers.
Yes.
On this album was where we started seeing Drake. We saw Wayne. Well, he wasn't in new school, but we saw Drake. We saw Big Sean. We saw Meek Mill. And those were like the new school cats that were coming up. Yeah,
what happened to B.O.B.?
What did happen to B.O.B.?
I think he released like after like what is it called with Bruno Mars? Nothing on You. I think he had
his debut was real big and like it was pretty good.
It was
what I remember.
The Adventures of Bobby Ray.
Yeah. The Adventures of
something like that. And then I think he had another song like there's a song called Clouds with Drake. I'm not Drake with Lil Wayne.
Yeah, yes, I remember that
album. It's like
I remember that beat.
Yeah. But after that, I don't remember. I can't think of anything after that.
Damn. Shout out B.O.B.
Shout out B.O.B. Make some more music, man. We miss you.
All right. The next album was the following year, Kiss the Ring.
Kiss the Ring.
You're killing me with those. That was released August 21st, 2012. The singles was Take It to the Head. That was Chris Brown, Rick Ross, Nicki Minaj, and Lil Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
I Wish You Would was Kanye and Ross. Dude, that's an underrated collab. Kanye and Ross. I think those two they mash well together.
I can think of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. What is it called? What's the song called? Devil in a New Dress. Yes. Wow.
Ross
Masterpiece. Yes.
A dope verse on there.
They need a project together. That'd be sick.
The next single was Bitches and Bottles. That was Future, T.I. and Lil Wayne. Forgot to mention Future.
Future. I'm not gonna lie. I used to not like Future when he first came out. I don't know. I couldn't get with it. But now
the first Future song I remember was I think it was off of Pluto. It was what's that song called? I forget what song, but it was pretty dope. I fucked with it, but it's cool when you listen to that now. Like it sounds totally different. It was a total different Future. This album was the first time we saw Cole, J. Cole, Big Sean, and Crit and Lamar had the next single was called They Ready, and they all had a pretty dope verse here. I Did It For My Dogs was the next single. It was Meek Mill, Ross, French Montana, and Jadakiss. And then the last single was called Hip Hop, and that was Scarface, Nas, and DJ Premier. That was straight hip hop record.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
That was what, 2012?
2012.
Kiss the Ring. And I started noticing like after I think Kiss the Ring, everything like all the album artists, Khaled looked like he had a migraine. He's always touching
that was always a meme too. Yeah. The next album.
Let me say it.
Yeah, say
Suffering from Success.
I was released October 22nd, 2013.
So Khaled is consistent.
So remember we were talking about Khaled being the rollout king, being the marketing genius. I don't know if you remember this, but there's this before this album came out, he had proposed. He went like on social media and he proposed to Nicki Minaj.
What?
Yeah, you remember that?
I don't know.
He like proposed, and it was like a whole big thing. Everybody like, wait, what? And it was crazy. It was like that was the beginning of the rollout. And I'm telling you, Khaled is like he knows what to do. He knows what buttons to push. And everybody was talking about it like, wait, Nicki Minaj, DJ Khaled, they're married, whatever. and then of course they came out with the single "I Want to Be With You," and it was Nicki Minaj, Rick Ross, and Future.
Wow.
And then I remember Nicki came out and said she went on the radio saying that hey, this is fake. Like we're not getting married.
Yeah,
this was all for the album.
Yeah,
and
wow.
So it was.
But see, you see like the hype that creates, like the buzz, and like everybody goes crazy for that shit.
Yeah, it did its job for sure. Singles from this was besides "I Want to Be With You." That was the third single. The first one was "No New Friends." We all know that one. Drake, Ross, and Wayne. And of course, that's Drake's song to me. And then and of course, "I Want to Be With You," which is Nicki, Ross, and Future. I already said that. Features on this was Future, Diddy, Meek Mill, Rick Ross, T.I., Change, French Montana, Timbaland was on here, Lil Wayne, of course, Drake, Chris Brown, Nicki Minaj, Jeremiah. Is it Jeremy or Jeremiah?
I say Jeremiah.
Jeremiah. Okay, Jeremiah. Oh, that's why the H is there.
Yeah.
Jeremiah. Okay.
Jeremiah.
Okay, cool.
Jeremy. Jeremiah. I used to call him Jeremiah, but
dude, I love Jeremiah, man.
He's got a voice.
Even like his new shit is fucking dope. All right, the next album came out 2 years later. It's called, what is it called?
I Changed a Lot.
Yes. And that came out October 23rd, 2015. And
I really don't remember that album. Like, I remember like him back to back albums, but this one I don't really remember that one.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't remember much about this one either. And I think this was more like of a forgettable album from Khaled. I don't think there was any real smash that came out from this one. Even
Rare
from the
miss.
singles. Yeah. So the singles were They Don't Love You No More. That was Jay-Z, Meek Mill, Rick Ross, and French, which I don't remember that song. Hold You Down. I think I remember that one.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Chris Brown, August Alsina, Future, and Jeremiah. How Many Times?
You know what?
Brown,
that
Lil
one was
Wayne,
one.
Big Sean. I don't remember that one.
You know, how many times gonna tell the next come over?
I don't think I remember that one. And then Gold Slugs
It's
is
a
the
good
last
one. I really like that one.
Chris Brown, August Alsina, and Fetty Wap. And then the next one was my favorite Ross album, which was called Major
Khaled.
Key.
Say it
Did I
again.
say Ross?
Yeah.
Jeez, what's going on today? Khaled. My favorite Khaled album was Major Key, released July 29th, 2016. This was my favorite because I remember the hype for this was crazy. He had some great promo for this, and I was mostly excited because of Kendrick. Kendrick and Cole were on this, and I remember that was what Khaled used a lot to promote it. It was like Kendrick is on here and Cole. I was like, oh damn,
Yeah,
I can't
and
wait.
I
can't wait.
And this is what, summer 2016.
Yeah.
So like it was, yeah.
And
it was,
Drake had a smash single on this too, which was
Would you
Free.
fuck me for free?
And I still love that song. It's a great record. Yeah, and then and another thing I liked was because of Nas. We hadn't heard from Nas for a while, and there was a song that was called Nas Album Done, and that was just a Nas song on there. And so I was really hyped for that. I was like, oh, Nas is gonna come out with some new shit. Hell yeah. So I was really, really hyped for this. Jermaine's interlude was one of my favorites.
I think so too. Yeah,
That was Cole's.
The beat for that was really nice.
Yeah.
I like how they put that together, and I
that
thought
was
that it
really
was
nice.
perfect. Can't
Yeah.
call it.
And fun fact, that was actually a song by Earth Gang, and the original track featured Earth Gang, it featured someone else and Cole, and it sounds pretty much the same. It just they just mixed it up a little different on this one.
It's just more of a Cole song on Major Key, and then on Earth Gang, it's more of an Earth Gang song.
Yeah, for sure. So the singles were for free by Drake. I got the keys. Y'all remember? I got the keys.
I used to not like it, but then I really became to like it. I became a manager at this time, so I was able to get the keys. I think our cousin, our cousin's like, "Damn, I got the keys." When I got the keys, so I kept saying. Then even what's it called? My son Ezra was born in 2016, so I would always tell Ezra, "I got the keys."
Shout out Ezra. He's the one doing the
it's ECNO.
Yeah.
Wow, crazy, man, crazy. But so 2016 I thought was a great year.
Yeah,
and then
really
Major
was.
Key came out. It just cherry on top.
And then the last single was Holy Key, and that's the one that Kendrick was on. And another artist that was on here was Big Sean. And I wanna mention Betty Wright. She was on here too. But let's go back to Kendrick and Sean. So this is, I don't know if you remember, they've been having a beef, subliminal beef, but it's very much real. Do you remember the song "No More Interviews" by Big Sean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of has like a whistle, in the background.
Yeah, I think so. And yeah, he took some shots at Kendrick, and then Kendrick came back. In my opinion, on the song "Humble," he kind of mocks his flow on there, and his ad libs, which is pretty dope. And they've been going back and forth on some different shit. I know they recently came out. Or at least Big Sean has been said that there's no real beef, that they've talked and everything. But
trying to downplay
artists
it.
always do that. Yeah. So and one day we're gonna get into the Drake and Kendrick beef that has been going on since like 2012 or 2011. And yeah, that one's crazy. But we'll get into that later. The next album was Grateful, and that was released in 2017 on June 23rd. Coming off of Major Key, I was really hyped off of this one as well for this album. Just pretty much just as hyped as the last one, and that's where I kind of fucked up because when it came out, I didn't fuck with it at all.
I feel like after Major Key, it was kind of like a hangover for Major Key. I thought Grateful, because I think he had just had his son Sade, and that Grateful, right? Sade he's chilling in the pool. To me, that, I don't know, just that off the bat, that kind of just looks like, he's just doing it just cause. That's I think that's what like starts to bug people is, now that he's made it, he can do whatever he wants, and he can pretty much get away with it. So I think, to me, that's when it started. Like, Major Key was the peak, and after that, it kind of started coming down.
Yeah, like, all right, I fucks with. Come on now, I fucks with the idea of him using his son for his album, because his name is all over this, so he's the one going to be getting royalties off this when Khaled's gone. So he set him up real nice.
That's smart. Okay, I like that.
So that's dope. And I know, so I get it. That's why he's doing that. But in the fan perspective, I don't like it just because, I want to hear, I don't know, I just want to hear Khaled only, and I want to see him, you know, I don't know. Like you said, that whole album cover that kind of threw it off for me as well.
Because with the Major Key was like him in the garden with the lion.
Yeah,
I thought that was really cool. I thought that was a really cool shot.
It was pretty cool. So this album personally was a major letdown for me. The single was Shining. I think that was a whack song. It was Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Ooh, careful now. Don't mess with the Beehive. They'll come after you.
Nah, man. Personally, I thought that was a whack song, but I get it. It's Hove and B. So I mean, I get it. It had a purpose.
Yeah.
I think the Drake feature on this, I was hyped for another Drake feature coming off of For Free, and I didn't fuck with it either. It was what's that song? To the Max, and I didn't like it. The beat didn't
kind of felt forced.
Yeah, it was. And I think this one had just way too many songs. When I saw the whole track list, I was like, I'm not gonna go listen to all these, man. However, there's 2 songs off this album that I really, really, really fuck with, and all right, I'm gonna mention the first one, and I fuck with the second one the most. But the first one was The Good Man. It was Pusha T and Jadakiss.
Okay,
I think that was a great record. It was hard, really, really dope. But the second one my favorite, which surprised me when I got to this song. It was Interlude by Belly. And Belly's one. He's dope, man. I really like his projects. He's I think he's from Canada, so he's really dope as fuck. But that interlude, dude, when he got to there, he had some lines on there that just got to me. I was like, oh shit, man, that's crazy. So that one really spoke to me, and he kind of speaks on his, because I think where's Khaled from, like, or at his
Originally?
family? Yeah, he's from. I don't want to butcher it. I don't want to.
I don't know.
Give false information, but he's somewhere from like the east, like talking like the east countries. But yeah, there's a song on there. Belly said me and Khaled come from the same place, so he's from there as well. So yeah, so I think that was pretty dope. So Belly, I was a really big Belly fan after this, and I went to go check out his projects. And have you listened to any Belly?
I have. What's it called? Well, he does a song with Nav on Perfect Timing. I like him there. Belly has, I think there's like 2 other songs that I really like. I can't think of the names right now, but Belly's an interesting artist. He's not traditional at all, and like he has like a singing voice. Mm-hmm. Like he can kind of just lay it out and be real relaxed and just let it go out. And it'll sound really good. Like, I don't know how to explain that.
Okay,
but
I see what you mean.
But I like Belly.
So yeah, let's go through the singles. We mentioned Shining. I'm the One was the second single. I think that was a whack ass song.
I didn't like it, but you know, it was for the masses, man. Like, you had Justin Bieber on there. You had Quavo from the Migos, Chance the Rapper. Like, you just throw all these people that you know it was gonna be like a radio hit. I just kind of got tired of it.
The single that I really liked was Wild Thoughts. Yeah, that was Rihanna, Bryson Tiller. That was dope ass song. Yeah.
Nice, good, really good sample.
Really dope song. Although it did get overplayed, but it's overall it's a dope ass record. So his next album was called
Father of a Sade.
Came out May 17, 2019. And honestly, I don't even remember much of this album. I can't name off one song off the dome. Obviously, we have the singles here. Or do we? I don't think we even put the singles are here. So yeah, this was another forgettable one for me.
To me, it reminded me of Grateful, but just Grateful 2. To me, that's what it seemed like, Father of a Sade.
What I do remember from this was, I don't know if you remember this, but, okay, so Khaled, he's the type that his albums always go number 1. This one particularly didn't go number 1. It came number 2, and it lost that spot to Tyler's Igor. And I remember, I don't know if you remember, but Khaled did a whole video, and he pretty much threw some shade at him. He said, I do albums for the people to play everywhere they're at, whether at the barbershop, they're at a party, or they're, I make songs for everybody. And I'm not on the weird shit. He said some shit like that. Yeah, he's I'm not on that weird shit, whatever. So he threw a lot of shade at Tyler, and then, a lot of people came at him for that. And I thought that was pretty corny in Khaled's part.
I think so. Well, he's always pushing like positivity. Yeah, pushing, so if he's throwing shade, it's like, what are you doing?
Some shade, yeah. And then Tyler came out and said, he played it right. He pretty much said, that's kind of his opinion, whatever. I just make music. I thought, I don't know exactly what he said, but he played it well. And I thought that was whack from Khaled, but that's what I remember from this album.
And that's when I say he's doing it right now just because.
Yeah.
So now I think he kind of was putting out he has the expectation of being number one all the time and just doing whatever he does to be number one, and expecting to be it. But if something unexpected like Igor, nobody was expecting that.
And I like that album.
Yeah. So
dope,
if
man.
like that happens, you're kind of like, whoa, it kind of bothered him a little bit. So
yeah, he was definitely bothered.
yeah, he was a little triggered.
And this kind of leads into the streaming numbers conversation because like these days albums go number one before they even come out, and that's because they do great in the singles. Like the recent Khaled album, the two Drake songs.
Yeah.
They came out like
Grease.
last year.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so they've been number one. They did everything. So of course he put it on here a year later. And before even the album coming out, it's already doing numbers.
Yeah.
Just because of those two songs. So that's kind of the thing that's going on these days. And then I think of the Travis Scott, what's his latest album? Astroworld.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I remember that was a big controversy too because it did a bunch of numbers, but it was because it was like packaged together with merch, and they counted that as streaming numbers, and so it's kind of mixed up these days. It's weird. I don't know how all the numbers work. It's different from like when back then you have to go buy the physical copy, and that's what counted. And then so I don't know, that's a whole conversation. Which
I think, and I don't know the exact number, but I think it's like a certain amount of streams. Like I don't want to say it's more than 100, but I want to say it's more than like 50. Somewhere I don't really know exactly, but like a certain amount of streams counts as one. Pretty much like one physical copy. Yeah, so they kind of like,
but then
foreign exchange kind of like, so it doesn't really count. Like I think it's hard to compare numbers if we're looking at anything past like 2010 before that. And,
for sure. Yeah, that's definitely for sure. So the lines are blurred for sure. So then that leads us to his latest album,
Khaled.
Yeah, just released April 30th, 2021. And it's, like I said, I haven't really listened to it yet besides the Drake singles. And I thought the Drake singles were cool. Yeah. They were dope.
I liked them.
But those are kind of like, they're meant to be like outside, man. So it was crazy how they released during the pandemic, and they would have been huge songs. I mean, they still are, but if people were able to go out and enjoy these tracks everywhere, they'd be crazy.
Things are starting to open back up, and like I've seen some people snap, and like they're out in the clubs and stuff. So I mean, shout out, people going to the clubs. That's your thing. Handle. But let's talk. What about so we looked at albums. We look at Khaled's discography. Yeah. Now for you, what do you think about all that from how he started until?
It's cool to see. We mentioned all the singles, and we did that purposely to go back and remember how they sounded, because the sound, of course, changed from his first one to his latest one. Hip hop changes all the time.
It's gonna,
So of course the beats were different. They progressed. The artists that he had, we went through the artists, and if you look at his first, 3, 4, 5 albums, they're all those artists, or most of them, are not on his last 3 or 4 projects, and that's a big change. The sonics of not only like the beats, like the drums, but also like the soundscapes have all changed as well. So yeah, man, it's cool to see. It's pretty interesting to see how everything has changed and how Khaled keeps up with the times. He kind of has to. Everybody kind of has to. Yeah, and it's just amazing how. It's still, the impact is still there from Khaled, man, from the first album to now, and I think it's even gotten bigger. So that's a big talent, man. Yeah. That's a big talent. We said, a lot of people think Khaled don't do shit, but he does a lot, man. He does a lot. Being an executive producer it takes a good ear, and that's what Khaled does. He's the rollout king. Shout out DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled, another one.
All right, so we back with this segment, What's on Rotation? So, tell me, what's on your rotation? What's been on your rotation? It's been a couple of weeks since we met, so I want to hear what you've been listening to.
Of course. So for me, I got three things on rotation. Young Thug's album, Young Stoner Life. That one has been on pretty not heavy rotation, but more like curious rotation because I've been trying to. Oh, I remember real quick when Young Thug first came out with that song Lifestyle. I hated Young Thug. I used to give people shit for listening to Young Thug. I remember we were at like some Halloween party, and then I was DJ for some reason. I don't know how that even happened, but somebody said, "Yo, hey, you got a Young Thug?" And I gave him the most sour look. I'm like, "What the fuck? What did you just ask?" Dude, I used to hate on Young Thug, but as like the years have gone on, I've grown to like Young Thug a lot. So Young Stoner Life has been on rotation for me. He's got a Cudi song. He's got some good, pretty alright songs. He has a lot of younger artists who I don't really listen to, so it's giving me a chance to listen to that. So Young Stoner Life has been on rotation for me. Khaled. I just started kind of like the Young Stoner Life. It's kind of like a curiosity. I want to check it out.
Yeah.
So Khaled's been on rotation, and then the last thing that's been on rotation is a song that is a pretty old song, but it's by Common, and it's called "They Say." That one. I think Kanye West is on that, and I think John Legend is on that as well. That one, it's just kind of been like a nice refresher for me, like a throwback. Yeah, Common has been Common I think is an underrated artist. He like has a lot of purpose and a lot of meaning, and I think that gets underappreciated as a hip hop artist. And then Kanye West, old Kanye is in there, and then John Legend with the doing his thing, and then the production line is just a really good song. It's a really catchy song too.
Common,
so they say.
I remember "The Light." That's a dope song.
So yeah, that's
it's a dope song. This is a dope song. Well, I want to say you mentioned the Thug album. I just started listening to it. Well, I haven't listened to the whole thing. I checked out my favorite artists that are on there. So I checked out the Cudi song. That one, I didn't feel too good about that one. I checked out the Drake record. That was a dope song.
I liked it.
It was a good gym song. I checked out a few others. And I don't know. I'm not too huge on. I'm still not too big on Thug, but it's cool. It's cool. But yeah, those are dope records.
Yep.
Dope records.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's been on rotation for you, sir?
The first one has been the album called Memory Lane by Shordie and Murda Beatz. That's been dope. It's a dope ass project, man.
Shordie.
Been a fan of Shordie. Not too long. The first song I got from him was Holidays. That was my favorite record from him so far. But there's a song on there. It's called Love, which is dope. That whole album's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like that one. So check out Memory Lane. Another one, I just started listening to A Gangsta's Pain by Moneybagg Yo. And dude, I really like Moneybagg Yo. He's one of my favorites that are newer. I think he's really dope. The intro got to me like right away. It's dope. It tells a story for sure, and it's cool. I've always fucked with Moneybagg Yo. The other one, let me see. Do I have another album? Yeah, the other album is Love Deluxe. It's by Sade. Have you ever listened to any Sade?
Not that. No.
Sade is fucking dope, man. She's amazing. She's an amazing older artist for sure. Like
you said, I think Drake has a tattoo of her, right?
Yeah.
Thanks to the Drake Trivia Challenge, I remember that.
Yeah. So I've been listening to that album. I know it's not hip hop, but I'm trying to give you some more hip hop. Let me see. You
know that song? The last time we did was on rotation. Company.
By the Game.
That's been on mad rotation for me, man. Like I've been listening to that a lot.
It's hard, man. It's dope. Yeah, I'm still listening to that song too. There's a song called "God Bless the Internet" by St. John. That's been on heavy rotation. That's an amazing song. I love. I already mentioned this, but St. John's also one of my favorites. I love his records like this. It's more of a slower record. It's more of like, I guess you could say maybe not R&B-ish, but more like a vibes record. It's dope, man. It's really dope. And I kind of want to mention two more songs that have been on heavy rotations. Waves of Blue by Majid Jordan. They just released it not too long ago. Amazing record. Amazing. I can't wait for their album. I'm a huge Majid Jordan fan. I've always loved their shit.
OVO.
Yeah, for sure. And the last one is an really older track called This Place Hotel. And that's by Michael Jackson and the Jacksons. It's dope ass song. That album. I don't know why I've been listening to the Jacksons a lot lately. But that song has been sticking out a lot to me. So that's what's been on my rotation, man.
We want to hear what's on your rotation. Make sure you add us at HH Cloverleaf on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So that was our show. We want to say thank y'all for listening, where we touched on this day in hip hop. We hit the ones and twos with DJ Khaled, and we finished the episode with what's on rotation. Subscribe to our pod if you like what you hear. Make sure you recommend it to your friends and fam or anybody who might be interested, and make sure you check us out every Wednesday.
Stay tuned to our next episode. We're going to give you another album review. We're going to be reviewing Kids See Ghosts. Shout out all the hip hop heads. Shout out all of our listeners, all of our followers, man. We fuck with y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with us. And we're going to be signing off now. You could be anywhere in the world, but you are here with us, and we appreciate that. This is Hip Hop Cloverleaf. Peace.
It's easy now.